All right. So thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this.
Yep, yep.
Um, so yeah, what I would like for you to do is just I kind of like to get your take on what led you into um, the life that led to prison. Like, what do you think the circumstances were? What do you think brought you down that path?
Um, I would say it was like a combination of two things, and one just being like me following after like whatever I see my older brothers doing, and then the other half of it just being um the culture. The culture in Boston is just like you rep whatever neighborhood you grow up in, and kind of that's what you die by type situation. So at like 14, 13, just me and the kids from around my neighborhood, we started a little gang, like not too far from here. Started a little gang and it just went downhill from there. Or
How did you see yourself at that time? What was your sense of who you were and what you believed in? Like,
I didn't feel like I was a bad kid at that time. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I was in probably middle school at that time, like going into about to go into high school, and I was just all over the place, like trying to figure out who I wanted to be, and I just like I don't know. I feel like when you're younger, you just crave to be a part of like whatever the culture is out here, man. Like that gang stuff is kind of like a serious thing. Like like people take pride in where they from. Like you meet somebody from Boston and they from like the streets. It's like the first question they ask you, "Where you from?" Like you know
I
what I'm
get asked
saying?
that all the
They
time.
don't play no games with like we don't play no games with that. And it's a safety thing, and it's just a I don't know. I do it just off instinct. Like you can't just be. I meet somebody from Boston, and then they're like, "I'm like, where you from?" They're like, "Dorchester." I'm like, "Where in Dorchester?" Blue Hill Ave. What part of Blue Hill Ave? Yeah, like we want to know where you from. Like that's what it's like, and that's just the culture. That's always been the culture since I can remember. Or
So, what did you see as your options for your life? I mean, do you think they were limited by your surroundings? Do you think that you saw like higher education or a regular job or those things? Did you see
nah,
those as part of the possibilities for you?
nah. That's not even something I even really thought about. Like I wasn't school wasn't a bad thing for me. I didn't struggle with it. Like I wasn't one of those people that like struggle with school. I don't like math, but I don't mean I struggled in school and shit like that. But nah, school. I just was never really like immersed in like the schooling experience. Like I just didn't care too much for it. Like I wasn't thinking about like, all right, damn, where am I gonna go to college after I complete high? Like we not. I wasn't thinking like that, like at all. I just was just like on some. All right, complete this grade. On to the next. Like hopefully I complete this grade, and that's kind of how I treated it. But yeah, school wasn't bad, man. I don't feel like school was bad. I feel like I was a decent student. I feel like I just got caught up in the street stuff.
So you go down this path, you end up in a gang, you end up incarcerated. How many times were you incarcerated before the last time?
Just once.
Just once.
Yeah, I got the case that I was locked up for, and then it was a drug case like a couple weeks before that I had caught, and that was it.
So here you are, you're starting this sentence. How did you think of yourself then? What was your view of who you were, of what your place in the world was?
Yeah, I was 18. I was 18 when I went upstate. 18, life sentence. Um, Sentenced to die in prison pretty much, and I just didn't care. I wasn't thinking about like going upstate and being like the role model inmate or convict or whatever you want to call it. I just was like, yo, I'm just full of anger, full of anger. I'm not thinking about school. Not even then. Like even when I first got upstate, like I signed up for school and then I finished it in like 4 months. I got my GED in like 4 months. And it was like, yo, you should have milked it. Like, I'm like, I can't get good time. It's not gonna serve me to just keep myself in this GED class for mad long when I can't even reap the benefits of good time. But like I passed that GED the first try. Like it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Like school wasn't.
Yes.
It was like I was struggling with it, or but I just when I got upstate, I wasn't thinking about it. I just something told me you might as well get your GED while it's here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but why? I mean, here's the thing. A lot of guys have that sort of attitude about the GED in prison. It's a way to get good time. They're not really thinking about like in the long term. Here you are, you're doing a life sentence. Why? Why get your GED?
I like to learn too.
So
Like,
that was always there.
yeah, yeah. Because it wasn't even just that. Like, I did that, and then like I kept myself around people that was always in books. You'll read this book. You'll read this book, and they just feeding me books, and I'm learning more stuff because that's the only way I'm gonna be able to like advance whatever into like I have. And then so I'm not only did I get the GED while I was in um when I first got upstate, I did a it's called the dude was like, yo man, you better fight or lay down and die. Like you better learn this law shit. And so he's like, yo, I got this Blackstone, and it's a correspondence course you do, and it teaches you like the paralegal foundation, and they send you a book every month. You do the little test that they send you, send the test back, and then they grade the test, and at the end of it, you get a little certificate. So I was like, I was doing shit like that too. And even when I was in DU, it was like how to start a business correspondence course. It's like I'm never just I can't just be not like I don't know. That shit always just been in me. Like I just be wanting to learn. Just be wanting to
And
learn.
still, during this time, you're doing these things. You're learning. You're taking correspondence courses.
Yeah.
You've got your GED. You're doing these things. Still, what was your idea of what your future was going to be?
I always just used to tell myself like I don't know if I'm getting out, but I had like an inkling that something was going to change. Like I had a friend of mine that told me, he's like, "Yo, these laws is going to change sooner or later." And he knew about the like judicial system a little bit more in depth than I did. So he was telling me like, "Man, you was how old when you caught? Yo, that's just going to change, and you're going to get out." So I kind of still always had that in the back of my mind, like, "Oh, one day that shit might change," and then it happened. But before it even happened, I'm always just like, well, fucking, I might as well be doing like I might as well acquire as much skills as possible in here while I'm in here, so that if I do go home, I'm not like a fish out of water. I'm not, and I still got my shit with me. So I always had that in the back of my head, like, yo, keep teaching yourself, keep learning, keep don't. Always had that in the back of my. Didn't know I was going to get out, but I'm just like, just in case this shit changes and this law changes.
But what did you think that learning was going? What did you think the result of that learning was going to be? What did you think? How did you think it was going to help you down the road?
This was going to keep me sharp. It's
Sharp
just going to keep
for
me for whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like in the kitchen all the time, and I'm learning through John like work ethic. You know what I'm saying? I'm in school and I'm learning all of these different things about um, humanities, civic engagement, and all of that. I'm like, yo, I'm going to Toastmasters every week, and I'm doing public speak, getting used to public speaking. I'm like, I feel like I'm going to need this shit. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep sharpening my shit, and then when these doors open, I don't know what I'm gonna need it for, but I know like these skills that I'm acquiring at Tufts, at Toastmasters, in the kit, I know I'm gonna need it. At John's in carpentry, I know I'm gonna need it. Like I
those were the
don't,
kinds of things that I did. I took
I
the
know I'm gonna need
carpentry
it.
thinking if I get out,
I
I
know I'm
want to
gonna
have a
need it.
skill. Um,
Transferable skills.
yeah. Um, so my my vision of you at the beginning of college was that um, you were in it, but I felt like a part of you thought, I'm really just doing this for a chance to get out. That was maybe because that was the way I was thinking, that maybe this will help me, get parole. But um, what did you see the college experience as offering to your life, or what possibilities did you feel in the beginning were going to open up to you because of it,
I
if
didn't
any?
really I didn't really know like the extent of higher education. I just remember having that conversation with Hillary and her just being like, "Yo, I can't guarantee you much, but I can guarantee you that a Tufts degree like it holds some weight." And I'm like, this is me not understanding like higher education, period, like at all. I went to prison when I was in the 10th grade. I don't have like I didn't see my brothers and sisters going. Even though my sister did, she went to Newberry College, I think, but I don't have like I ain't. I don't come from a product of it, so I didn't understand like the value of it. So it's like even when I was doing it, I didn't really understand like what the I'm just like all right, just I see that I see the people I'm meeting, I see the network I'm building, and I feel like the transformation like academically, intellectually, I feel all that. So and I like it. So I'm like, I'm not gonna stop doing this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know I was gonna get out and there was gonna be all of these people at Tufts that was like, yo, if you need anything, yo, just I didn't know it was gonna be all of that. That was like a leap of faith type situation. Like people say shit all the time. That's just lip service to us. Like you gotta show me something to make me a believer. So it's like you could tell me whatever, but unless I see it firsthand, I'm not gonna believe none of that. None of that.
It was for me. I didn't really start to believe that it could lead to anything until we met Stan Andrews.
Yeah,
That
man.
changed a lot of things for me.
Cornell West came in there.
Cornell
I'm like,
West.
what the fuck? And then I didn't even really. I was confusing Cornell West with Michael Eric Dyson. So I think I know who Cornell West is. And then like the moment happened, and then he gave this like amazing lecture, and then I talked to people after, and they're like, "Yo, you know who that is?" And they're like, "Yo, you know who that is?" I was like, I don't know. I think he's like an important person. They're like, "Man, civil rights." Like they like giving me the rundown because I can't. It's not like we inside and I got a phone and I could Google this shit. Like I don't have like all that information that we have now at our hands. So I'm like, I didn't even really understand who it was I was in the presence of until like late, like a month later or something. I'm like, oh damn, that was like a big thing. That was a big thing. So I was like, damn, that's dope. Like meeting people. Like, yeah, Stanley Andrees, Cornell West. I'm like, come on, bro. We would have never been able to experience something like that if it wasn't for education, if it wasn't for like the people that put us in those spaces. So I'm like, man, this shit is different. It's different. It's different. They be doing the ethics bowl and things like that. I'm like, what the hell? Like studying ethics and understanding it, and we I don't know. And I think us as individuals, we never looked at it as ethic. We be so grounded in like respect and loyalty and like what the fuck is ethics? Like we don't we have a constitution of ethics that we abide by, but we don't call it ethics. It
So I want to go back a little bit because one of the things that I really want to talk about, um, from being in class with me, that I've spent a lot of time talking about my trauma growing up, the things that sort of broke me to the point that you know um, I ended up sort of living on the fringes, addicted, those sort of things. Can you talk a little bit about what were your traumas? What were the things that um, molded you, in the beginning, that sort of created the vision you had of who you were and what your place in the world was?
So I just come from like one of those blended family. I grew up with my stepfather, my mother, um, me, my brothers and my sisters, and then one of my little cousins, and then my stepbrother. But My father was like addicted to drugs, died of HIV like 2 years before I went to prison. He was never really there anyway. So it's like when he died, I wasn't too like pressed about it. And emotionally, I just didn't really, I didn't care too much because he wasn't like a significant factor in my life. And then I was raised by my stepfather, but then my stepfather used to beat the shit out of me. And then that shit just created like a resentment towards my mother because she's just allowing it. And it was just a whole bunch of like madness growing up, like in that in itself. And then I get locked up for this case in 2003, in August of 2003, and then my brother Kasim gets killed in May of 2004. A year later, and then 6 years later, in June of 2010, my other brother get killed. And these just do like they raised me, like you know what I'm saying. My stepfather, I give my stepfather a lot of credit because he took care of me since I was like two, like so even that's the closest thing to a father. Even though he beat the shit out of me, or yo, that motherfucker took care of me since I was a child. Like, and that's not something that the average man would do. So I got respect for him in that sense. But yeah, and like it shit was crazy. My household was just crazy. And then so I just had my stepfather that raised me, and then my two brothers that I grew up with. But they ended up getting killed, and I was kind of dealing with that a lot. So now it's like I was dealing with like a lot of anger, man. Just young, just black rage, just like yo, man, just wanting people to feel the same exact pain that I felt. So I was just projecting that shit a lot of the times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not really knowing how to deal with that anger, just projecting the same like madness that was like casted upon me. So and I just was living in it, you know what I'm saying? But you just learn how to cope with it or deal with it and just you navigate around it. But it's still, I don't know, it's hard, but we do it.
Here's a question that might sound a little strange, but how how big was your world then? I mean,
That shit only consisted of these blocks. I'm from around here. This is my neighborhood. Like no bullshit. I grew up on my neighborhood. The neighborhood I rep is Denner Street. That shit like 3 streets away. Like so, this is my neighborhood. It consists of these blocks, and I was never thinking like too much outside of it. You know what I'm saying? I never, but before prison, it was like, yeah, you got Lynn, you got Lowell, you got Springfield, you got the North Shore, South Shore, all this shit. That didn't even exist to me until I went to prison. And then I met somebody from New Bedford, Pretty. Like I knew Pretty. I was in the county with him. He used to be around. One of his cousins was related to my. You know what I'm saying? Like and that was only I only knew about New Bedford through him, through somebody. But if it wasn't for that, like I wasn't going to Brock. I wasn't traveling nowhere. Like no, my world consists of the projects I grew up in, OP, which is also down the street, and then Dudley Park, which is in that direction. And then I used to be in Carmen Square every now and then, but that's just Roxbury and Dorchester. That's not even all of Boston. I couldn't tell you about Mattapan. I couldn't tell you about the South End. I couldn't tell you about Rosendale, Randolph, like all this other shit that's like in close proximity, but it's just like it doesn't matter to me. I'm just like I only care about these neighborhoods that I grew up in and the family that I have that's like wherever else. But I wasn't thinking about like life in a worldly view like that. I just was like, yo, I'm from Roxbury. That's all that matters to me.
and then you're incarcerated, and your world shrinks, and
Yeah,
it sort of becomes um, the block you live on, and you know
yeah.
the larger prison, and then you're even cut off from all the other prisons. So um, your world shrinks.
It does. It does. It does. But then it exposes you to certain shit. Because even though we like in prison and we secluded to a certain unit, but then it's like, oh, now I'm meeting dudes from Brockton. Now I'm meeting people from the Cape Verdeans from. I only know Roxbury Cape Verdeans. Now I'm meeting Cape Verdeans from Brockton. I'm meeting Cape Verdeans from the Cape. I'm meeting. You know what I'm saying? All these cities, Lawrence, dudes from Lawrence, Ludlow. I mean, dudes from all over. And then I'm like, oh, okay, there is there's oh okay there's little coaches everywhere and they doing the same they are and I'm not gonna say the same, it's a little bit different, but I'm learning about different cultures. I'm learning about Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cape Verdean Haitian. Like I'm learning it just by like having these like dialogues with these people. So I don't know.
So as you described yourself, you were the angry black man pre-incarceration. You were raging at the world.
Oh yeah.
Um, what would you have seen your impact on the world as being, and what impact did you even want to have on the world at that point?
At that time, it's just like, yeah, you just in the streets, man. It's not you in the streets like it. You know, you just want to be a gangster. You don't. You're not aspiring to be. Uh,
You just want this. That's all
that's
that's
it.
around me right here.
That's all that matters.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? I see. It's crazy because I'm working in DYS now. I talk to them kids and I'm like, yo, this is where I was at. All they care about is just being that dude, that guy. You want to be it. You want to be him. But it's like it's a lot of shit that comes with that, man. It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of like irreparable damage that you can't reverse a lot of that shit once you start doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be paranoid as hell. This blue lab, like I'd be like, hold on, let me. You know what I'm saying? And there's probably nobody around here like even thinking about me. But then it's just being out here doing shit I was involved with, and just like, yo, man, you don't want this. Is not what you want, man. This everybody that's him. That's everybody that you consider to be a gangster. They don't even want to be that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? They doing a life sentence. They doing 40 years. They doing double life sentence. They doing RICO charges. They like they're like rethinking like, damn, I should have picked the. But you don't in the moment. You're not thinking about that shit.
And so you're incarcerated. Um, did you expect that you would have any kind of impact on the world from there? Is that something you thought about?
Nah, man. Nah, no, no. I just was like, yo, man. I just want to be.
Just
I don't
wanted to
just want
get
to be
through it.
respected in jail,
Yeah.
man. Like, like the only way I'm gonna be able to get through this shit is I'm respected to the point where dudes is gonna leave me alone because they know what I'm about or know like the lengths I'm willing to go to to prove or get that respect. So it was just that. Just like, yo, man, I'm trying to make it home in one piece if I do go home. And the only way to, and in my head, I'm like, the only way to do that is just like solidify, like make motherfuckers respect you. I'm just like,
What does
that's
that look
all
like in prison?
violence. You know, there's no such thing as like, you can't, there's just violence, bro. That's just mad predatory up there, man.
You're
I,
telling me.
that's mad predatory.
Try
I feel
going through it
bad
as
for
a gay
people that,
man.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, it's just mad predatory,
Yeah.
bro. I feel bad for the individuals that don't, and you can see the people that me. I could go up. I'm like, I'm from Boston. I'm from Roxbury. I'm from Dennis. You know what I'm saying? I fall into a protected group of people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some people from Lynn, Blood, Cambodia, you fall into a protected group of people. But then
Right.
you got people that's not from nowhere, though, and then it's like you can not it's hard for you to it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to just like be safe in there or feel some sense of safety. Like if you're not with a pack, if you're not with a group. So it's like that's just crazy, man. It's crazy.
So the education begins. We join this program. We're in Tufts University. Um, can you talk a little bit about how your view of what impact you might have in the world shifted um, during the process? Did it happen slowly? Did it happen at all? I mean, I'm
Yeah, I think like the more I always be like, I felt like the more classes I took, the more powerful I started to feel. Like, oh damn, like well, this world is bigger than the 4 blocks. You start reading about uh what happened to the Congolese and King Leopold, and we start reading about um, Cambodia, or we start just all the different like things we read about or different courses we touched. I'm just like, oh damn, this is like impacting me in a different way. Because now I'm thinking, I don't know, now I'm thinking critically about everything. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, I don't even want to be around certain people if they not on the same type of time that I'm on. And that's it changed for me in that sense. And then now it's like on top of that, I'm like, yo, the worst thing about it at first was that it was only a few of us that was provided the opportunity. So then it's like going back to the unit and feeling like a one percenter, like, damn, I want everybody to have this experience. But the reality of it is that everybody can't. But then now I'm like trying to, yo, when this next cohort come, if it does like, you know what I'm trying to get people excited about, because yo, this shit is changing me like in the best way possible. So now I wanna put dudes on. It's the same shit like if we was on the streets and I got some fire ass drugs and I'm like, yo, this shit right here, this shit right here is gonna change your life, bro. This shit gonna change your life. I would do the same thing if I was on the streets and I was hustling and I came across some fire ass product. I'm gonna bring it back to the hood and I'm gonna be like, hey, you know what? Yo, get with this. For like, fuck with this plug. Like, so when I started experiencing what education could do for me, and I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I want my peoples to be a part of this experience. So yeah, yo, pay like, cool, come to the unit. Yo, I ain't got no food for you yet. I ain't got fill this out first. Like, fill this application out first. Like, this is what we doing now. Like that other shit is cool. We always gonna be that. We always gonna. But yo, do this school shit, bro. This shit's fire. Like, and that was my approach. Like, change the people around me first before I do anything else. Like, let's start here. Let's start here. I'm not even thinking about the world now. Like being out now, it's like,
So already, even as somebody who's just going through the process, your instinct was already, as you're becoming more of a scholar, as you're learning more, already your instinct is to have an impact on the people around you.
hell yeah.
It started to happen early. Can I? So you have to know that as someone who was going through this, that you earned a lot of respect for the men who were standing side by side with you.
Mm-hmm.
You earned a lot of respect from your professors, from your fellow students. Um, that respect, does that feel different? Does that do you hold on to that differently than the respect that you demanded from people through violence, through other means as a prisoner?
Yeah.
Tell me what the difference is.
The difference is something that it's not just like you get respect in this. You get respect in the streets is just different. It's the only people that respect in the streets is people in the streets. Nobody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Street cred ain't applicable anywhere else. You can't buy shit with that. Like the only people that value it is people in the streets. But then it's like it starts changing when you start getting into academics and the respect I started feeling from the professors, the respect I started feeling from people in the classroom, the respect I started feeling from people who doubted me. Like I always use Dutch as an example. Dutch was like when we was in jail. Dutch used to be like, "Man, y'all niggas ain't gonna go home and be doing this school shit. Like y'all wasting your time." And then it was like I came home, and Dutch is out right now, and I just remember him hitting me up one day. He's like, "Yo, no bullshit, nigga, you made me a believer." I was like, I was like, he's like, I'm seeing what you, Kevin, Judy, I'm seeing what y'all doing. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Oh, they was serious. Like, so it's like when the moments like that, it's like that shit makes my day. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit I feel prideful in, and you can't buy that. And it's a respect from everybody. It's a respect from my family. You know, everybody, bro. Dudes, I grew up A1 day one streets doing crazy shit with they respecting it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just like, oh shit, like damn, you came home and you just on your shit.
That street respect and that being in prison respect that you were talking about, um, that you were demanding from the people around you. Did you feel it? Did you feel it for yourself?
You feel it, but it's Street respect is just different. You feel it, but then it's just like I said, like dudes dudes fucking killed my brother. Man, I was so mad about that shit. I seen one of the dudes that's just from that neighborhood right over here, and I stabbed dude. Boom. I remember being in the hole like right after it happened. Thermal crazy, mad bloody, and then I'm like, the respect that came with it was like, but then it was like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, this shit, yo, what if I start thinking like, damn, I stabbed this dude sick. Like, yo, what if I killed this dude? You know what I'm saying? So it's like of course I'm gonna get the respect. Dudes just seeing me, they saluting. Okay, you put in work. You get that, but then it's like, yo, I crashed out again. Now like the internal discourse happens. It's like, damn, I crashed out. I got the respect that I wanted, but so it's like you can't even. There's no like moment to like celebrate it or be in. It's just like it's not the same. It's not the same. That shit comes with a. That's what I'm saying. That shit comes with a lot. You'll do some shit. You'll get the respect. And it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I just do that shit for? I'm trying to get out. And that shit almost extended my stay permanently. But you're not thinking, this is what I'm saying. We're not thinking like that. You're not thinking about like that. You just, I don't know.
How do you see yourself today? How do you think of yourself?
How do I see myself? No bullshit. I just be seeing myself as just the example, like just starting to recognize like the example that I am for the people that's coming after me, that's inside right now, and are thinking about that thought it wasn't like higher education wasn't a possibility, thought that it was implausible, thought that it was impossible, thought that it was, and then they see Junie on a flyer, boom, yo, reentry director, coordinating it. They see me on the flyer, boom, TEDx Tufts 2025. They're like, oh, hold up. Like, maybe I possibly can't do this shit too. You know what I'm saying? That imposter syndrome, all of that shit that they was feeling, that shit go out the window once you start seeing people that come from what you come from do it. And we didn't have a lot of examples. Like when we first started, that's why when we seen Stanley and Idris, we like, oh shit, oh damn, you did how much time? Oh you damn you, oh you go to Georgetown and I'm like, oh shit, damn, oh shit, it is possible. And then we go to National Conference of Higher Education in Prison in Atlanta, and it's like everyone we met, Tish Hyman, Shannon Ross, like we meeting all of these people, CEO of this company, and then you sit down, you kicking it with them, and they're like, oh yeah, nah, I did 10 years too. I'm like, oh for real? Like, or I kick it with Shannon Ross. Shannon Ross, like, yo, I did like 8 years. You kick it with somebody else. They're like, yeah, I did 25. I'm like, oh shit, everybody here did time. And they got like ill ass jobs, director, you know what I'm saying? Executive ED, all I'm not even like thinking when I'm there, like all these people are formerly incarcerated. I'm forgetting that that's what the conference is for. I'm not realizing that everybody in this motherfucker done did time, like a lot of time, and I'm like, yo, this is fire. Yo, and it's inspirational in that sense. It's like once you get in them spaces and you see, oh, okay, it's not just a Massachusetts thing, because we're meeting people from DC, California, Florida, New York, Baltimore. Oh, it's not just a Massachusetts thing. Oh, this shit is bigger. There is no ceiling for this shit. Like you can go as far as you believe. Once I seen that, I'm like, oh, it's a
So I see you. You know, I've heard some of the podcasts you've done. I'm looking forward to the TED Talk. But why do you do these things?
Um, for one, is the biggest thing is like I started realizing like with a lot of social movements back, and this what school came into play is like a lot of social movements back then. You start with like conscious racing, conscious racing. A lot of people don't even know that half of the shit that we perceive as an injustice. A lot of people don't even know these injustices exist. and they are only going to be aware of it if we talk about it. And I feel like story is the best way. So when you see me doing music, telling it through music, or you telling it through a podcast, or telling it through an essay, or telling it, it's because that's me trying to raise awareness on like this shit that we went through, this shit that we going through, and that's it. It's a tool. It's
And for the purpose of
change this shit.
to have an impact on the world.
Change this shit. And that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't think like a lot of the things. I didn't think a lot of the change was possible until I got around certain people, or I seen it on my own. I'm like, oh nah, this is it's very much possible. It's very much possible. So that's kind of like what motivates me, man. That's the main thing that motivates me is just knowing that a lot of this stuff needs to be changed, and knowing that like my story or a experience that I've had can change it.
So, last question. How big is your world now?
Hey, shit's ill.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I got you. I didn't know that question was gonna fuck me up. Shit. How big is my world
Oh, I love you, brother. And you know what this shit does to me because, fuck.
now? Nah, it's big. It's big. It's real big. I don't be like, I don't pay attention. I don't pay too much attention to like limitations no more. I don't, even when I was inside, I always had like every dictionary I had, like people that know me, I used to cross out the word impossible in all of them. It's because I don't put limitations on myself no more. I just be believing I could do like whatever if I apply myself. Like, right. If I apply myself, bro, man, this shit's mine.
Damn right it is. Thank you, man. All right.